This video is brought to you by Insta360. So I consider today the first day of the year for me because ever since the holidays last year between Christmas and New Year's, we started moving out from the old studio to the new one, and it's been very hectic to say the least because it's been renting trucks, loading stuff, unloading stuff, assembling everything again, buying new furniture, putting it together, attaching it to the walls, experimenting with location. It's been crazy. And we haven't taken a day off since, and one could say that we're a little bit tired. But today is the first day because finally pretty much everything is set. Sure, we do have bits and pieces that we need to put together, and I'll do a separate vlog for that. But for now, all of us are ready to work. But us being tired and this being the first day of the year is not the highlight of today. The highlight of today is the arrival of the Samsung S24, the baseline, the 6.2-inch model. I'm very excited to test this phone, unbox it, share with you my first impressions and so forth. And right now it's around 25 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It's kind of cold, but I will try to do my first workout for 2024, despite, not having any heating in my garage. But still, you gotta keep those juices flowing, so let's go. The problem with working out in the cold is when you have to deal with weights because everything is freezing cold, to be honest. So I have to use gloves. But if I use my gloves, I can wear my Apple Watch because I constantly trigger the, alarm function on the side. So I figured the best way that I can work out and still track my activity is via the Oura Ring if I use the gloves because I can protect it. And in this case, I've put my Apple Watch on the charger, so let's get started. Well, that was a nice workout. I thought it was gonna be more unpleasant because of the lower temperatures, but it was great. Actually, I feel so much better. Now, when it comes to tracking, where the ring falls short on the activity side of it, something that the Apple Watch excels in, the ring catches up and performs way better when it comes to sleep, recovery, and everything else. So I'm kind of really growing into the ring segment wearable. Time to take a shower and go meet with the delivery guy because he already called me about the S24. Алло?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
3-4 минути.
Ay, tú sabes, mami.
Ever since I started living between the world of Apple and Android, I feel that I'm slowly becoming a Samsung fan. After buying more than one flagship over the last 2 years, I always end up missing cool software features that exist only on the S-line devices, and I can't hide my excitement to spend some time with the base S24 to only get the Ultra shortly after and then report on my observations. While unpacking the S24, I can't, however, not feel a little bit let down, witnessing nothing more than a cardboard box, missing not only proper accessories but also that magical experience one can go through with a phone like OnePlus, for example. Nevertheless, I am being presented with that ultra-satisfying matte black symmetrical goodness that looks so aesthetically pleasing. Initial impressions of the S24 baseline is that the phone is almost exactly the same size as the iPhone 15 Pro, but it feels much lighter. Furthermore, it is much thinner, especially with the slimmer camera profile, and it feels very ergonomic and comfortable to hold in your hand despite the sharp edges. If I have to choose the back of each phone, I'd go for the Samsung because I much prefer this camera layout. It looks stealthier, plus it's matte black and it hides fingerprints just as nice as on the iPhone 15 Pro. But no matter the smartphone you have, an AI-packed device worth getting is the Insta360 Flow. This is not just another stabilizer, it's an AI tracking powerhouse that first of all is small enough to fit in one's pocket, only to then deploy in a single step to serve as a state-of-the-art gimbal, tripod, and even a selfie stick. Flow's 3-axis gimbal stabilization cancels out the shakes in your footage, which combined with Insta360's deep track, which recognizes the subject from all angles, translates to unmatched tracking accuracy and flexibility. My personal favorite use case of the Flow is when I have to record myself. All I have to do is raise my hand and witness Flow starting the recording and tracking without even pressing a single button. That, of course, works equally awesome when having family conversations. By the way, if on-the-fly editing is required, you can rely on the AI-powered editing tools as well, built right in the Insta360 app. Right now, until February 1st, get the best Insta360 Flow deal for a 12% discount and a free spotlight at the very first link in the description below. Okay, so I assume one of the holes is for a microphone. Right next to it is the SD or the SIM slot. So you have to be careful where you stick the SIM ejector tool, not to put it in the wrong location.
Okay, so we're shooting on the S24 and we're headed to the place that I dread the most, which is the mall, but IKEA is there and we have to return this tabletop. Let's hope I don't get crushed by a car. And it's a good opportunity to grab some lunch and do some other fun stuff. Let me know what the quality on the front-facing camera is and if you like it or not.
I miss MagSafe. So whenever I have a new phone in front of me where I haven't had the chance to test the new functionalities and, gather decent impressions, the reasonable thing that I can do is just go through the advertisement material of the manufacturer, in this case Samsung, and see what they're focusing on, and quickly glance and test the key features right off the box. First of all, to see if they're easy enough to understand, and second of all, if they work as expected. I love the unified bezels on the front side. Everything looks very iPhone 15 and 14 like, actually 15 like, because everything is thinner. And I think in terms of thickness compared to the iPhone, we have the same amount of bezels, which at this point is pretty much non-existent. It's very, very cool, symmetrical. I like it a lot. So it isn't very clear if this here, the chip on the new Samsung S24 devices, is Snapdragon Generation 3 or the Exynos chip. At least I wasn't able to find a lot of information. According to the order of the S24, this phone is with Exynos. Now, if I go to the settings of the phone, I can't really tell what the chip inside is because there's no really specific information that says, Snapdragon or Exynos. But if we open Geekbench and I go to GPU, it says that the GPU is Samsung's Xclipse 940 based on Vulkan, which, if I'm not mistaken, is actually Exynos and it's not the Snapdragon, which is a bit unfortunate. We'll run some benchmark tests a bit later, but it would have been nice if this phone is running Snapdragon. Okay, so let's try the AI magic with, let's say, this fellow. So what I'll do is I'll go to Edit, and then I'll click on the little AI symbol here, and then I'll select myself, roughly. I want to grab this fella and put him right here, and then generate. Adding the missing pieces. Oh wow. Okay, done. I'll save this as a copy. Oh, it still retains the HDR information. Okay, here I am. I mean, you can clearly see that I have some sort of a glow and some weird artifacts around the cutout. But in terms of filling that space here, you see, these are my shoes. But I'm more impressed
in how it fills out the void that was from, moving myself to the left side. I'm not so impressed about the actual cutout itself. I mean, it is a challenging condition, but I think we need to experiment more with this and see what it looks like. And missing shadows is kind of like a no for this type of situation. Maybe if I was jumping to reach a hoop or something, then it would work because there would be barely any shadows underneath me. But in this case, it looks very, very artificial. Okay, so we're looking for sneaker shoes, or sneakers, or shoes that we want to use inside of the studio, because we pretty much always have angles where you can see the feet, and since we don't wear any shoes, outside shoes inside, we wanted to have some nice sneakers that we can rock around the studio, that we can just keep as sort of like slippers, but so we're on a hunt.
Смисъл, за първи път виждам такива пакети, Дали са 30% намаление. Благодарим.
After rocking the S24 pretty much all day, I firmly find the new form factor ideal for pretty much anyone. From the super slim profile, to the placement of the speakers, which are out of sight and out of mind, to the way this device represents itself both visually and audibly. The speakers on it are on par with something like the iPhone 15 Pro, where you wouldn't find it sounding teeny one bit, or having any issues when consuming content for that matter. In fact, even though it is on the compact side of things, it is a joy for streaming media. One UI 6.1 based on Android 14 is also great. There are many iPhone vibes that you can witness throughout, but I don't mind when somebody takes something that works better from the competition and applies it to their own recipe. From the control panel and notifications pane to the overall snappiness, pretty much the entire interface is an upgrade worth enjoying. Furthermore, with this phone, Samsung is promising, just like Google, 7 years of support. So if you're looking for just one reason to pull the trigger and upgrade to the S24 series, that might just be it, knowing that your phone will be supported by 2031. Stay tuned for S24 Ultra content and more Samsung videos, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well as my newsletter. It's been an absolute pleasure. This is E, over and out.